Hi, welcome back to SCENIC. Today's build guide is going to be on the OO or HO gasometer or gas holder build. As always, I'm going to show you how to build it from start to finish. I've pre-cut out the cardstock to save us a bit of time on the video. But as you will be aware, each piece comes in the size of card. You just cut the tabs away to remove each piece. The only parts I've left together, just to show you, is the circular discs, so we'll go through that when we get to that stage. But to begin with, we're going to need the sides to the cage for the gasometer. So you've got 4 of these in total. So I'll zoom in now and I'll show you the first step to the process of building the gasometer. Okay, so I've got 2 separate pieces of the gasometer. There's 4 in total. And to begin with, we want to apply some glue down one of these edges and overlap the parts so they line up like so, and allow that glue to dry. So today's glue, what I'll be using is a combination between PVA and super glue, but use whatever glue you feel comfortable with and any glue which is suitable for gluing cards together. So for quickness, I like super glue for the videos, but you only get one shot with the super glue obviously. Whereas the PVA, you get time to move it about and reposition it before it sets. So to do this bit, I will be using PVA, just so I make sure I can align all these gaps in between. So we're going to be gluing down this strip, but we want these tabs, which are cut out, to make sure that they overlap each other on each piece. Like so. So the gaps line up here. Okay, so I'm going to run some glue down this edge now and we'll glue this first part together. We'll add that all these parts are the same size and shape, so it doesn't matter what direction you glue them together in. So while that one's drying, I'm going to bring in the other 2 halves, and we'll do the same with that. I'll run some glue down this edge. Okay, now I'm going to bring back the other 2 and make this one complete long piece now. So I'm going to join one edge together. Okay, so I'm going to put that away to a side and let that finish to dry. Okay, so the next parts we're going to need is our discs, which are cut out the kit. The one with the SCENIC X logo disc, we don't need that, so we can get rid of that. You can use that for tipping out some glue on, or bit of scrap material, so we can cut that away. And to build the cage, we're going to use the outmost edge of the circle. So if we cut that away, there's one on that one, and there's one on this side. Okay, so they're the largest circles in the kit, and they both match. So I'll just put one of them to a side, and we're going to bring our cage into play now. So the cage is going to wrap around this disc like so. So to begin with, you've got little small tabs at the bottom here. I'm going to bend all them over so they're nice and flat. Just do it on one side for now, we can do the top later. Okay, they're all folded over, and where each section joins, we're just going to give them a quick fold just so it starts to form the natural shape that it wants to just stand up in. That'll help us glue the model together without it springing back open. So just work your way from one end to the other like so. Okay, so that naturally wants to stand into a circle now. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to finish by joining these together. So I'm going to run some glue down this last edge and attach them like so. Again, just ensure that you line up all these slits in the cage, because we'll require those later. Okay, so put some glue down that edge now. I'm just going to bring the opposite edge to it, and like we did with before, I'm going to line all those slits up and just wait for that glue to dry. Even though it's PVA, it still doesn't take too long to dry, but you do get that little bit of chance just to manipulate it back into position if you didn't quite get it right first time. Okay, so we've got all the folded edges over on these tabs at the top now. That's going to become our base for this model. So where we'll start, and each tab needs to be glued onto one of these straight edges. So the straight edge of the cage, where the tab is, will match and line up against the outside edge of this circle. So I'll start by zooming in. I'll show you a close-up of what I'm doing. So I've got one straight edge here. I'm going to apply a bit of super glue this time, just to that edge. And I'm going to bring in the cage and ensure that I am gluing right alongside that edge, like so. Again, you can use whatever glue you're comfortable with. For the video I'll use super glue. So I'm now going to do the opposite side to that, so I'm going to spin it round. Okay, and another benefit of super glue, especially for me, I'm working on glass. This could be out of an old picture frame or anything, but the model is now secure. I'm going to move it for the camera, but it's easier to work if this gets stuck to the table as such. You can manipulate the edges better without moving the actual circle disc. But once you're finished, you just take a flat blade, a sharp knife, you can just literally scrape underneath that edge, and it just becomes free. So I'm going to spin it around. I'm going to do the quarter to that now. So I'll just fold this in a bit. And then I'll do the last remaining quarter of the cage, opposite where we've just glued. Okay, so we've got corners here glued and front and back glued. So it's a case now, just folding in the cage slightly or splitting the base away, applying some glue and just align all those edges nice and flush with that disc that we've got into place. And if we work all our way around, so we get back to where we started, that's the bottom half of the model completed. So I'll just do one next to where we glued before. I'm going to peel it back a bit and apply some glue. I'm going to reach down inside and press that into position like so. So it's nice and flush here on the front. Just wait for that glue to set, and then I'll move along onto the next section of the cage. And like I said, I'll work my way around all the way around until I get back to where I started. Okay, so that bottom ring's now firmly attached. So we want to repeat the process for the top ring. So I'm going to start by folding over these last remaining tabs on top. Okay, so you can see these tabs are now all folded nice and flat, so we've got a nice flat surface for this disc to rest on. So as we did before, we're just going to glue one end or one side first. I'm going to glue the opposite side, and then I'm going to do the 2/4 to that. So I'll begin with just gluing this edge close to the camera for you. Again, I'm using super glue, use whatever glue you like. I'm going to do the one closest to me now. I'm going to do the 2/4. And this one. Okay, so that's got our shape in place now, so we just want to go around again and glue into position the rest remaining tabs, either by flipping it over, going inside. You can gently fold up the edge and glue from the sides here if that's the way you like to do it. Okay, I may have missed one or two just for the video, just trying to rush through it, but make sure you glue all these tabs into place all the way around. Okay, so I'll move on to the next step now. The cage is complete. So we're going to start with the external supports now. So we get 16 of these in the kit, these long supports. So you have a thin end and a thicker end at the bottom, wider at the bottom, thin at the top. So we want the wider bit at the bottom, thin end at the top, and the slits within the cage. These tabs which protrude from the support are just going to slot through them slits like so, and I'm going to glue with super glue again on the inside them tabs which are sticking through. I'm going to hold this at 90 degrees to that section of the cage. You can see that's roughly 90 degrees to the cage section there. Again, I'll do the one next to it. So thin end at the top, flat end at the bottom. Slide these slits through the gaps, the tabs through the slits. Like so. I'm going to just hold that into position with my finger. Apply some glue on each tab. And then I'm going to hold that 90 degrees to that section of the cage. Just allow that glue to dry. There we are. And then move on to the next one, and so on, until we've got none left basically. And every hole's full. Okay, so that's each one of the upright supports now glued into place. The glue's set, so they're nice and firm, and that's not going anywhere now, it's solid. Okay, so we'll put that to a side. Right, so the next process of the build is to bring in our two etched brick detailed sides. You've got two with small brick details on them, two matching ones. You have two matching ones which have large brickwork or sheet metal detailing on them. Again, two matching ones. Also included in the kit is 4 tabs like so. Two are larger than the other, it doesn't really matter which is which. We're going to glue these tabs on the back side so the etching is still visible, and we're going to connect these two halves like so. So I'll begin with this. I'll use super glue again for quickness. Just going to glue that tab halfway into this large section here. So you've got half of the tab protruding. And once that's dry, I'm going to bring in our other section. I'm going to run some glue on this tab that was still left. I'm going to make sure this edge butts right tight up to this one. Nice and flush. Okay. And before I glue on the last remaining tab, I'm just going to slightly curve this because it's going to form a cylinder. So I'm just going to bend it all the way around and keep going until it forms a nice tight cylinder. Okay, so we've got a nice curve to that now. So I'm going to use the other tab to join those two halves together like so. So grab one of the spare tabs. Just remember we're just gluing on half of one side of the tab first, to make sure we're on the back side to the edge, so the edge is still visible. Just glue that into position. And then I'm going to bring these two halves and join them. And bring these two halves together, make sure they're nice and tight, and then just squeeze them and let that glue dry. So the next step we need, the next part we need is we need our disc back. And still attached, we've got one circular disc. I'll show you a close up now. So we've got one of these discs that has a flat edge on the outside and it's completely circle on the inside. This part is not required, we can get rid of that, we don't need that. You get two of them. So I'll cut the other one away from the other half to the disc. What we've got left here. So again, we've got those flat edges and completely circle on the inside. We don't need them, we'll get rid of that. So the next ones we need is the next biggest size circle. So we've got, in theory, 2 on this side and 2 on this side, including the disc. We'll take our biggest ring from these and the big ring from this side. They should match in diameter, and the last two, including the disc and the smaller ring, will also match in diameter. Just put that to the side for now, we don't need that. So taking one of our rings again, and in a similar process to how we built the cage, we're going to fold these gluing tabs over all the way around, one half of the model. Okay, so they're all folded flat. I'm going to start with the same process as before. I'm going to glue one edge or one tab and then work to the other opposite side. I'm going to do one at the quarter and then the opposite side, and then we can do all the other tabs because we know that them four are in position correctly. So let's start with the one closest to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll apply some glue. I'm going to bring our piece in and just set that there so the edge of this is nice and flush to the side of the cylinder. Just allow that to dry, and then we can work on the opposite side. Okay, so they're all secure now. I'm going to do the same again with the other ring on the opposite side. Okay, so we've glued both sides to the disc on now. Remember this was the one with the smaller brickwork detail. So the next step we want to do is basically the same process for the one with the large metal etched lines on. Again, we'll join them first with the last remaining two tabs. So just remember to do half. I'm going to glue on the side that's not got the etching on. The etching is facing us. Let's glue half of that first. Okay, so they're now one piece. We're going to curve it between our fingers like we did before. Okay, once we've got that curve again, last remaining tab, we're going to glue into place. So half is on the inside, and then we're going to connect those two halves together to form one complete cylinder. Okay, so that's now glued into a cylinder shape, like before. So again, we want to fold the gluing tabs over one side first. Okay, so this time we're going to start with the disc. We're going to glue the disc on top first. So, as always, start with just one side first. Get those edges nice and flush. And then we'll go to the opposite side. So where we've just glued. Then bring those edges in nice and flush. And I'm going to do the quarters again. Okay, so that's secure now on top. I'll just go around now, and probably from the inside this time I'll go around and glue all these tabs nice and flat. Okay, so they're all nice and secured inside. So we've got the last remaining ring. I'm going to do the same again, same process as before, fold these tabs over and glue this into place. So that ring's now secure as well, so we've got solid top and the ring at the bottom. We've got our two cylinders here. So our next step is bringing into the action is the roof. So two halves, it's got the edge detail on both sides. You want to join these together. So we've got two triangle parts. What you're going to do, as we did before, I'm going to glue one of these gluing tabs halfway onto this roof section, like so. So we've still got half a tab left. I'm going to put some more glue onto this. I'm going to bring the other half of the roof together. Like so, and just ensure that's dry. Yeah. Okay, so we've joined that into one complete circular disc now, so we want to glue on the last remaining tab just on half again. So like so, we'll glue that onto place. I'll do that now, just put some glue onto here. Again, just halfway. Like so, so we've still got glue and tab sticking out. I'm going to run some glue on that. And then just simply slide them together and it will naturally form the dome shape we want. So make sure that's nice and dry. And you can see there, got the nice natural shape to the dome. And if you just squeeze it around your fingers, make it more circular, we'll get the shape we require. So the next thing to do is glue on the top dot now, which will cover the hole at the top. So just apply some glue onto that. And simply squeeze that into position. We want to bring back our circular disc on with the round top, and we're simply going to place the disc on top, and it'll overlap by about 1 millimetre or 2 all the way around. So just flip it over and clamp it with your fingers like so, and just start with one edge. You can just apply a bit of glue and then move along and apply a bit more glue and just squeeze down those edges. Work your way around. Okay, so that's now glued on top. Bring back our two halves now. We've got the bottom part of the cylinder and the top, and it is a tight fit. It was designed to be a tight fit, but you can manipulate the top cylinder inside the ring we glued on earlier on, and just work your way around. So it starts to go in. Okay, and the idea why it was so tight, we can, if you've got 1 or 2 of these, or 3 or 4, with how many you've got on your layout, you can manipulate these up and down, so it dictates whether it's a full gasometer or one that's empty, half empty, so there's a bit of freedom up and down there. So once we've got all that together, bring back your cage and simply drop the cylinder inside like so, and that's the gasometer complete. Okay, so that's the OO or HO SCENIC gasometer build complete. It's quite a good process, and it's nice to see the model come along as you build it up. It's very impressive. The glue I've been a bit overzealous with. I don't mind that when I'm building steel structures as such, because when I add some weathering powders, you get a bit of a difference in texture, and to me that looks just like it's more corroded or more rust, and to be honest, where it drips down, it's how it would naturally form, so I don't mind that in my models. So you can see the size difference between the N-gauge and the OO HO size. It's a good product. I do like it. I do enjoy the build and the process of doing these videos, so thank you for coming along. I will add that I have just redesigned and re-released the N-gauge colliery or pit head gear. It is now available in OO and HO. Again, that will come with another video. I'll get that done this week if possible, of how to build that is now available on the website, so I'll get that video uploaded as soon as possible. Thank you for coming along. Again, if you could give us a like and subscribe to our page, that would be fantastic. And any comments, please leave below. You can visit and buy all our models from www.n-scenic.co.uk, and as always, we ship worldwide and pricing is available upon the website for that. My name's Tom, and again, thank you for coming along for the SCENIC gasometer build. I'll see you again. Bye bye.